Hey, what's up guys, Paul here, and today I'm going to be buying everything from the item shop and showing it to you guys. Yes, finally I am level 45 plus, and I can buy the Azure Sword. Today we are going to be testing the sword that is in my hand, and we're going to be doing everything with it, beating bosses, beating enemies, and everything pretty much. So, I'm just going to buy everything right now, so I'm going to be back from this time lapse. Alright, so I have bought everything. Oh no. Oh no. I think I already had brought everything from this store, and I just forgot about it. Oh man. Well, now I have 2 of everything, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the weapon without the auras, I guess, so that it can be very clean. Let's unequip my eliminate aura. There we go. Okay, so this is the Azure Longsword. It does about 170 to 153 damage, and for a level 45 plus sword, it's decent, definitely decent, but it's not even near to the level 45 swords you can get that are dropped by the final boss. Alright, so we are at the Viridian, I think Bear it's called, Viridian Monster or something, arena, and let's just test out all of these swords. So you saw the Azure Longsword test right there, did about 170 damage, which is pretty good, and let's test out the Valkyrie Sword. This is how the Valkyrie Sword looks. It looks really decent, definitely not as good as the Azure Longsword in my opinion, but it's still pretty good. And the Valkyrie Longsword does about 152 damage, which is pretty solid, which is pretty good, and pretty well made. Alright, as I was saying, the Valkyrie Sword is pretty decent if you are in the level 40. If you've just reached the final area, it does about 150 damage, as I said before. And yeah, it's a pretty decent sword, and it can carry you pretty much until you get a drop. Alright, the next weapon is the Scarlet Bow. It's for level 38 and does about 130 to 133 damage. Now, this bow is kind of bad, in my opinion. It's pretty bad. One, you can get the robotic bow from the Moon Forest boss, and if you're grinding from level 30 to level 40, you can use the just use the robotic bow, which I feel like a lot better. You can see it does like 180 to 183 damage, which is much better than the 133 damage the Scarlet Bow does. And yeah, I feel like this bow isn't that worth it, but if you don't get the robotic bow or the lightning bow is acquired from the Shadow Island Rexes. The Shadow Rexes, the first like mobs. I'll be showing you guys once I do the showcase for the island itself. But yeah, this bow is decent. I mean, not really decent, but if you don't have a robotic bow, then I guess you can use this as a last resort if you're an archer. Alright, so the next item is going to be, okay, stop please. Okay, Here we go. The poison bow. It has about 100 to 130 damage. 103 damage, I think. Let me just check again. So 103 damage, and it's for level 34. This also is a decent bow. I need to check if I have any other bows around this level, but I don't think I do. So let me just check real quick. You can get the celestial bow, but the celestial bow is worse. But it's much lower leveled than the poison bow. But if you don't get the mythic, then you can definitely use the what is this? The ivy bow? No, the poison bow. So the poison bow is pretty decent, I would say, for early moon forest. And yeah, that's pretty much all the use of the thing of this weapon. And the next sword is the Vampire Sword, and the Vampire Sword has a special place in my heart because this is a really good sword, right? If you haven't got any sort of like this Dragon Spear, or maybe a, what do you call it, a cybernetic spear from the first sort of enemies, then the Vampire Sword is pretty good in carrying you through Moon Forest, early Moon Forest, because one, it has a pretty decent damage output. It does about 90 to 93 damage in level 30. That's pretty good for Moon Forest. I mean, especially for early level gameplay. And yeah, it's decent. I used the sword when I was grinding through Moon Forest, so that's pretty good. Now the upgrade of the Vampire Sword, I would say, would be the cybernetic spear or the blood axe. But if you do get lucky, I mean, you can't really use these, but you can also get the Ruby Greatsword and the Crooked Axe from the Celestial Axolotl. So I guess you can use that, but that's level 40 plus, and yeah, so you can't really use that. But the Frosted Sword is pretty good too. Anyways, the next sword, the next bow we're going to be looking at is the Ruby Bow. Ruby Bow, I'd never used it ever because I'm not an archer at all, but again, it does decent damage. You know, it's level 78, right? 78. Oof. It's for how much level? 28, and the Dragon Spear is 20. Ooh, that's painful. But the Dragon Spear is a legendary, so that's also a case. But anyways, the Ruby Bow, you can, if there is another bow, no, there isn't. So if you are trying to be an archer, I don't think there is anyways. If I'm wrong, be sure to comment down below, I guess. But if you are trying to be an archer, then Ruby Bow is decent. It's decent. But just grind 2 more levels and a bit more of the boss, and you should be able to get the Celestial Bow, which is like 10 times better than the Ruby Bow, like 77 to like 97 damage, almost 100 damage from the Celestial Bow, which is really good, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, it's objectively better than the Ruby Bow. But yeah, the next weapon we are going to be looking at is the Corrupt Sword, or the Blood Butcher. If you guys play Terraria, again, if you don't, this joke makes no sense. But anyways, this is the Corrupt Sword, and I really like the look of this sword. I really do. It looks pretty sick in my opinion. And it does about 60 to 63 damage, 61 to 63 damage. And it's not that good. I mean, the DPS on it is pretty good actually. The rate of swing. You can use this pretty fast if you just spam. But for level 24, level 24 actually, again, you can get the Dragon Spear with like 70 damage. But if you are not able to get the Dragon Spear, you should be able to use the Corrupt Sword. So next weapon we are going to be looking at is the Flower Sword. The Flower Sword is decent. It's really good. It's really good. It's really good. It does about 50 to 53 damage, and level 22. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage right there. But you can see for level 22, this is decent. This is really decent. I think the Technoblade. Where's the Technoblade? Yeah, the Technoblade is level 14. That's 33 damage. Why am I getting off topic? Anyways, the next, pretty much, the Flower Sword is pretty good if you are a melee user. if you are a bow user, then the charged bow should be able to carry you a lot until you get the ruby bow and such. Or just use the axe. The axe is insane. Like good, like level 17, 35, 38 damage. Anyways, then we have the dark spear, which is also the weapon I used before I got the dragon spear. And the dark spear is decent. It is decent as all hell, dude. Oh, is my turn gone? Okay, there we go. The dragon spear does about I can't click on anything. This is very weird. And there's a banana skin here. I have no idea what's going on. I can't swing my sword. I can swing my sword, but I can't click on anything. Alright, there we go. Okay, now click. Anyways, so the dark spear is for level 20. Flower sword is for level 22. But you can see that those extra 2 levels don't matter anything, because this is 47 to 50 damage, this is 50 to 53 damage, and that's not really that much of a difference. So the dark spear can carry you until you maybe get the dragon spear, or you get the vampire sword, or the or the corrupt sword. The corrupt sword is pretty good, as I said before. Then the hard axe is pretty sick and again, but not that good in my opinion. I mean, a big spike from the dark spear. Like, this is level 20, 47 to 50, and this is level 17, 35 to 38. Not that good, but still for level 17, I guess it's okay if you don't have anything else. Like the Technoblade. The Technoblade is really good. It can carry you until you get the dark spear, the hard axe. Oh, we got a weapon. That's sick. What is this? Crimson spear. Nice. The boss actually dropped something. I never get drops from this boss, so that's a first. But we got the crimson spear, which is cool, I guess. Alright, so let's move on to the next weapon. Okay, I need to move this along quickly because this is turning into a huge video. The charged bow, 15, 30 to 33. It looks like this. It looks insane. If you saw my first video on weaponcraft, you know I am a big fan of the design of this bow, and I also used this when I was grinding through the game. I'd say charged bow is pretty good. Charged bow is really good. Next weapon, the emerald spear. The emerald spear looks pretty sick. The colors of the emerald spear are pretty good, and it does about 30 damage. The emerald spear is pretty good, actually. It's really good. For level 13, 30 damage. Like the hard axe is level 17, it's just 35 damage. Like 5 damage more. Like really good. The emerald spear is really good. The enchanted bow, you can use this up until you get the charged bow. It's just a placeholder item, pretty much. It's not that good, and it doesn't even look that good. So yeah. Next item, we have the otherworldly axe. This is pretty much what most people use after they get into the haunted forest, and this weapon is absolute trash. This is absolute trash. I would say get one of these, farm the first mob of the haunted forest, and get the Technoblade. The Technoblade will carry you through so much that you don't need to get another sword until you get the dark spear. So yeah. The Technoblade is really good. If you haven't seen it, it looks like this. It even looks pretty good, and it damages pretty good. The next weapon is the electric bow. This is pretty good. Level 8, 15 damage is insane, but because the forest bow does about, the forest does 5 to 8 damage. The electric bow does 15 to 18 damage. So this is pretty much a direct upgrade from the forest bow, a 10 plus damage upgrade from the forest bow, which is pretty sick. So yeah, this is a pretty good bow. Then we have the violet sword. And by the way, if you don't have the demon sword, what are you doing? Get the demon sword, grind for it, and you will be set until you get like a crimson spear or a technoblade. So yeah, that's pretty. The demon sword looks sick and is pretty good damage output. The final weapon we have, the penultimate weapon is Violet Sword. It's alright. It's definitely better than the Forest Bow, but you just don't get it, to be honest. let's use the forest though, because there are many people here. You don't want to waste your money in the early stages of gameplay. Just grind with everyone with their bows and other people who have better weapons, which would be much better. Just don't buy the violet sword or the green plasma sword for that matter. This sword is absolute trash. Like 7 to 10 damage is absolute trash. But if you want a good looking sword, you can get this. It looks pretty sick. It looks pretty acidic, gooey sort of thing. And so yeah. Now that's pretty much it. Let's open an aura. You know, let's open the traditional aura. I know I didn't open an aura at the start of this video. I guess I didn't remember it. But if you guys are new around here, there is a tradition around us that every video we open at least one aura, whether that's in the end or in the start. Let's open a rare aura. And there we go. We are opening the rare aura. We are gonna get the again. Seriously, pink particles? I mean, the pink particles look pretty sick, to be honest, in my opinion. And these are how they look. These are the pink particles. They look pretty cool, right? So in my opinion, the pink particles are one of the better looking auras. If you guys want a good aura, the pink particles is definitely what I would go with if you didn't have a chance to open the crates, legendary crates. Oh, no aura. I have not got this. Toxic circles. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, it goes really well with the green plasma sword, doesn't it? How about the poison axe? Here we go. Ooh, that looks clean. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the video. If you guys liked this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share this video with your Weaponcraft playing friends or RPG playing friends. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, this has been Fall here. Keep falling, and peace out.